Good morning, YouTube and Facebook, because I will air this on Facebook. And I've been struggling with this for a little bit, but I figured that it was time to really just say something about it. We continue to have the same situations in this country with police killing black men unarmed and just shooting black men randomly unarmed. And I know that there'll be some friends that will probably even distance themselves from me after I make this statement. But that's the way life is. So I'm gonna go into the grave by myself. So if I don't have no more company while I'm living, then guess what? Hey, so such is life. After this incident in Wisconsin, it's just it's really frustrating, and it's leading me into where I'm at the point where I'm questioning myself. Do I teach kids to respect law enforcement, or do I teach them to be proactive with law enforcement? And when you get stopped for a ticket, just hold court right there and deal with that. And then let the police department deal with it. From that perspective, do we get that aggressive? Do we get aggressive enough to, when we see a police officer in the store shopping with his family, we hold court right there and let the world deal with it? Let the world mourn. Do we call on our brothers and sisters that have police officers in their families to execute? Do we call on our white brothers and sisters that have uncles and aunties to execute? Do we have to get that extreme? I don't think we're at that point yet, but I believe it's coming. I believe it's coming. I believe it's coming to the point where a police officer will be issued a tank in order to actually live. Can't say I'm not looking forward to that day, because you have disgraced the whole idea of law enforcement. Well, no, you haven't, because law enforcement was really enacted to deal with black people in the manner that it's being dealt with. But many don't want to say that. Many don't want to own up to that, but that's the truth. Law enforcement was enacted to deal with blacks in the manner that it's dealing with. So don't be surprised. But today, the statement that's going to distance me, I think it's time for blacks, my people, to come out of these churches. Stop running to these churches. Stay out of these churches. Let's get together and have a mass prayer. Let's call God into accountability, because enough is enough. We need to define our direction and whether a revolution is totally, absolutely necessary. And I think it is, but I just say that we need to come up out these churches. We need to come up out these churches. We need to stop with all that. And we need to pray to God, right? Call God into accountability, because let's be realistic. When God had enough, and so the Bible teaches, God had enough. He destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. Supposedly that it was, homosexuals and lesbians. So if God could have enough, and enough was enough, when is enough enough for us? When is enough enough that God will hear our cry? We've been crying for years. We cried through slavery. We cried before slavery. We crying after slavery. So when is God going to hear our cry? Good question. I mean, there are those that will say, hey, you're going a little bit far, but I'm saying I'm not going far enough. If I was in heaven right now, if I was in heaven right now sitting next to God, I'd tell him, hey man, you got to do something. You got to do something. Okay? Forget about lawmakers and all this other stuff. God, you got to do something. You created this. You got to do something. And if you don't, It may be time to switch sides. I'm just saying, it may be time to switch sides. I hate to say that, but that's where I'm at right now, spiritually. Because I'm tired, and a whole lot of other people tired. My black brothers and sisters, it's time to get legal, where you can have firearms, where you can buy bullets that pierce vest, so that your adversary, these guys that's wearing these badges, are not your friend. Your adversaries will be having funerals instead of us all the time. That we can have gang shootings, where we just clump up together and just shoot the hell out of somebody. We need to have some of those. The boys in blue need to feel some of that. And then they'll stop. But as long as we look for somebody else to solve our problems, they'll never be solved. At least they won't be solved to our satisfaction. We've endured police bombings, hangings, shootings, beatings, redlining, unfair representation, poor schooling, ghettos. We've been infested with drugs and all these other things. When are we going to draw the line? I think the line needs to be drawn. Hey, just think about what I said. Have a great day.